time no see, and we'll be back. So, just a quick update to let you guys know, I have started doing $5 challenge with four different things: Bitcoin, SCHD, SPY, and last but not least, Palantir, PLTR. Each one of them is a different risk tolerance, and we're going to put $5 a day every day the stock market's open in each one. And at the end of a year, we're going to see where we're at. So that's going to be a daily shorts update. Feel free to tag along with that and see how that progresses. We actually just finished week one, and SCHD is the only one of the three that is up on the week. Uh, Not to be, uh, unexpected or anything, because we started the week on a pretty high note and it got higher, and then everything tanked Thursday, Friday-ish. So it makes sense. And in other news, we're going to start covering options plays, things like that on this once a week, see what we do, and just basic education on options. So that'll be fun. And if there's anything you guys would like to hear or see covered, happy to do that too. Also try and give you guys the news and updates of the week that are the week ahead once everything's done. Probably come out on like a Monday or maybe Sunday if I can get it out. But yeah, so that's the basic plan. But if you guys have any input, suggestions, always happy to hear from a fan. Um, so yeah, with that, there's a couple things the week ahead that you're going to want to look at, which is the Fed rate hike decision, oil prices, that kind of stuff. But there's also a lot of earnings that are going to be happening this week, so it's going to be a pretty volatile week, and we're going to see where that takes us. So uh, this isn't going to be the show from like the 2020 era where everything was fast and loose. This is going to be more conservative with the money that we have, and earned and kept. So it'll be fun. But we're not. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the $5 challenge. We have Palantir, which is the wild swings from the stock picker portion. We have Bitcoin, which is the crypto, which is the wild swings. Then we have the two more well-rounded investments, which is the S&P 500 essentially, and a dividend paying ETF. Those are usually considered the more reliable kind of things. So we're going to pit those against the eccentric gambling casino that is the stock market essentially, and see where that ends up in a year. Just for our own edification, and hopefully you find it interesting too. So we'll do that, and yeah, it is shaping up to be a pretty wild ride based on the things that I see in the next 6 months happening. So stay tuned for that, and just to give you a little update, let's check it out. So you can see here that we have Bitcoin currently at 29,924, and our average price is over 30,000. And I did kind of discuss that this is not my preferred method of buying Bitcoin in a short. Essentially, they charge about $100 more, which in the grand scheme of things is like 0.003% fee, and they don't charge fees on Robinhood. And it's not a bad way to buy it, especially in such small quantities as $5. But it's not my preferred way. My preferred way would be to do the advanced Coinbase, where you can name your own price, and it's like a 21-cent fee. Um, and that's usually for larger quantities. So I would suggest that if you're buying in big quantities, not $5 at a time, because if you're buying at $5 at a time on regular Coinbase, it's like a 99-cent fee. So you're only getting $4 and a cent worth of, if that. Um, and that's yeah. So it just depends on what you're buying, how much you're buying, that kind of thing. So with that, let's move on to the next risky one, which is Palantir. Palantir was up to $18 this week, and it's now down to 16.43. Our actual retail price average cost for the $25 we've input, 17.48. So we're actually down about $1.50 on our little over a share that we own currently. That one I expect that one to do wild swings compared to the other stuff, except for maybe Bitcoin. But yeah, that's one of those meme stocks. So we'll see what happens there. S&P 500, this is one of those things where it's like always trades up, roughly 7 to 8% every year annualized is the average. So we'll see where this takes us. Currently, we're down 7 cents on our $25 investment. And last but not least, SCHD, we are up 25 cents on, and we will be getting dividends here in the next month or two, I believe. So with that, that's basic, those are the four things that we're going to be highlighting every time we go through this. Uh, but that'll be the shorts. I can update you guys here if you'd like that. That's fine. Um, but also, I want to talk about how we're doing this on Robinhood. I figured it was, it's been a couple years since we got rid of Robinhood, and it's kind of funny because everyone really hated Robinhood for the debacle that no one seems to remember or talk about anymore, where they basically stopped people from trading certain stocks for a specific period of time because they didn't want things to squeeze more than they did. And that was a real jerk thing to do. They've since had litigation on it, been sued, paid out fines, and they've continued to innovate. And that's kind of nice because now they have, you can buy fractional shares, and they also do this 24-hour trading with things like the S&P 500. And I find that I am familiar with options enough to not need their service, but for people who are just getting into finance, I find that this is probably the best option just to take a look at options. So when we're doing trading SPY options and things, we can do this and it'll give them, like, okay, let's let's say we're gonna buy a call for 3 days out at right around price. So the price is 451.95. So if we bought a 452, it shows the graph right here of where you're profitable and where you're not. And TD Ameritrade has something similar to this. It's easy enough to find, but this just does it automatically. And that because if I were to add another sell call here, it'll change that graph pretty quick. Um, so yeah, just like that. I mean, that's pretty great. Um, it's not bad. And so because of this and a couple other reasons, I'm going to be doing the challenge on here and maybe doing some options teaching on Robinhood just because for people who are just getting into investing themselves, I find this to be a very straightforward website that they'll probably be able to use. Not my favorite, but it's, not for me. So that's okay. And I'm always happy to help people learn because learning is, the best part of being alive, honestly. Learn new skills, learn new ways to do things. It's really cool. It's definitely, the best as I've been told and as has been said many times, the best investment you can make is one in yourself. So keep learning, keep doing you, and eventually everything comes out in the wash. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to getting back into the swing of things, guys.